So we are now using the same questions on 11.2 to solve the equations using the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula would be negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So using the things that we already know, we should have our b, our a, and our c. The only thing is, we've already done half the work because we found the discriminant which actually goes inside the square root. So we're going to be using the same discriminants that we found out in the previous videos. And so if we go ahead and start off with A, so if we start off with example 1A, we had found in the previous videos that the discriminant was 49. So knowing that the discriminant is 49, we're going to set up our equation as negative 5, that's our B, plus or minus the square root of 49 over 2a, which is 2 times 3. So let's simplify that. On the outside, we have a negative and a negative, which turns into a positive. So we have 5 plus or minus. Then if we take the square root of 49, that's actually a perfect square, which is 7. And on the bottom, we have 6. Now we're going to have two solutions because it could either be a positive 7, so we're going to add, or it's going to be a negative 7. Negative 7, yeah, which means that we're going to subtract. So 5 plus 7 equals 12, divided by 6 is equal to 2. 5 minus 7 is negative 2 over 6, which simplifies to negative 1 over 3. So our two solutions here are 2 and negative 1 over 3. Now we're going to go ahead and go here to the bottom. Now we had found the discriminant here of example 2a to be 0. 0 actually tells us that we're going to have one solution. And so how does that work? We have negative 6, that's our b, and the discriminant is 0. All over 2a, our a is 1. Now if we simplify this, we're going to have 6 plus or minus the square root of 0, which is just 0. And then on the bottom we have 2 times 1. Now since this is 0, no matter if we add or subtract 0, the top is going to be the same at 6. So this goes away. And all we're left with is 6 over 2, which actually simplifies to 3. So our one solution here is 3. Finally, we're going to go ahead and do example 2b, where the discriminant there was going to be 13, which means we're having two solutions. So setting this up, we have negative 3, that's our b, plus or minus the square root of 13, which is our discriminant, and then 2a, which is 2 times 1. So negative 3, that turns into a positive. And now square root of 13, that's not a perfect square, and we can't simplify it. So it's going to stay like that. On the bottom, we have 2. Now we simplify it anymore if we can, but in this case, we can't. So we leave it like that. Our two solutions being 3 plus square root of 13 over 2, and 3 minus the square root of 13 over 2. These are two solutions, so we can just write it as 3 plus or minus the square root of 13 over 2.